Hello, departing condors. It's Mr. Johnston here down in the Fab Lab. And in this tutorial, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the process of migrating your Google Drive account to a personal or another educational account, specifically for seniors. So as a senior, I know you're all pretty anxious to probably move on with commencement in the new chapter of your life in the university, which is a lot of fun. But the fact of the matter is that we almost always have some students that reach out to us in like August and September and say, hey, I want these files from my school account. Can you help me get these? And so I want to just kind of take a little bit of time today to walk you through this process, because the work that you've done here over the years at FDR is intellectual property, and you might not want to take all of it with you, but you might find that some were very instrumental in the work that you might do in your field of study or your major in college. So I'm just going to kind of walk you through the process of how you're going to transfer this over. And this is also important to know, simply sharing FDR-owned files with your personal account will not ensure this transfer, because if your FDR account is the owner of any files, and then that account owner becomes inactive, people that had shared access to those files will lose it. So before we get into this, I also want to have another just really important clarification. Most edu accounts or educational accounts in Google have unlimited storage. So we here at FDR have unlimited storage, and that is no problem, because over the course of many years, you might have made all sorts of files. However, personal accounts in Google have only 15 gigabytes of space. So make sure that your destination account has enough space to take the files that you're going to transfer. So if the files are too big and your personal account doesn't have enough space, you might get an error message saying, "Oh, sorry, this doesn't have enough space. Can you designate another account?" You can also download some files and upload those into YouTube. But what I want to do today is I want to just kind of walk you through this process of how you're going to do this. And it's not super easy, but hopefully with me narrating in the background, you should be able to figure this out. So the first step is you're going to do a little audit to see how much space your FDR Google account has taken up. And I'm actually just going to toggle to a demo student account. So this is just Mary Demo. And if you're at all curious to know how much space your account's taken up, simply just navigate over to Google Drive. And now that I've done that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the gear cog in the upper right-hand corner. And so now that I've done that, there's a little drop-down field with two boxes. I'm going to click Settings, and you can see that I have 300 gigabytes of storage, which is a lot. I have a lot in Gmail, none in Photos. So that's a lot. And if I click over here, Manage Storage, what I can do is I can then get access to all these files. And if we look over here, we'll see that I have a lot of videos, and videos take up a ton of space. So a lot of these are 6, 5, 4, 3 gigs. All these things are taking up space, but it might be a problem for me to transfer this over to my personal account. So the best thing you can do is, if you look at these and you say, well, I don't need any of these, you can just select multiple files and just delete them all, so you can move these to the trash. Another thing you can also do is you can download these. So if I want to keep, like, for example, this one here, what I can do, this is from the moving up ceremony. I'm just going to pause this for a second here. And I can click over here and I can download this onto my desktop. And then from that, I can upload to YouTube. I can also save that. Maybe that's a really important file for me. And I can also save that on an external device. So what you want to do before you do this transfer is you want to maybe kind of clean up your Google Drive and figure out what it is you want to kind of transfer. And I want to kind of go back here also and talk a little bit about this as well. If your new destination account, so if your university uses Google, most edu accounts in Google have unlimited storage. So if you plan to transfer all of your FDR content to your university that you plan to be attending in the fall, that will not be a problem, because most universities that use Google have an educational account. They have unlimited storage as well. However, just to kind of be really clear about that, if you want like a personal account, it does need to have 15 gigabytes of space. And if you have more than that in your FDR account, you're going to need to kind of cull that down. So as we saw here in my video, what I did is I just clicked in Google Drive, and I'm just going to show you one more time where to find that. So here I'm in Google Drive, and you're just going to click on the gear cog, you go to Settings. After that, you go to Manage Storage, If there's any content that you want to download it here, or simply move it to the, I'm just going to, if these are like videos I don't want to keep, I could just simply click these and just, remove those. As I have here. So I'm just going to click remove. So that'll be moved to my trash, and then I can delete and empty my trash. So yeah, this might require a little bit of time. So if you need a little bit of time to do that, that's okay. But if you also need to, take these and kind of move these out of your Google Drive, you guys can. So this might take a little bit of time, but hopefully when you're ready to go, you're ready to take the next step. So after that, this brings me to the next step. So with this, you're going to need to check the storage of the destination account that you're going to use to ensure that you have enough storage space. And I also want to just kind of show you on my own personal account. So here's my personal account right here. You can see my email. Please don't send me any spam emails for this demonstration. But if you look here on the left side navigation bar, the storage says 96% full. So I only have like half a gigabyte of space. So this is really not enough. So if I put in my destination account, I would not actually be able to do it, because the service that I'm going to walk you through, called Google Takeout, would say, oh, sorry, this destination account does not have enough space. So coming back here, I'm then going to just come back to our document here. So make sure that the account that you do have has enough space. So this could be a university account. You can delete files. And another thing you also might consider is maybe just creating a new Google account. Like you could just create an account, go to Google, create an account, have to create a new, of course, email. But then from that, you'll have to kind of make a decision. Do you want to keep this in the cloud, or maybe do you want to download some files onto your computer and upload these to YouTube? And just to really be clear about this too, a lot of departing seniors are just really aching to get out of school and have a great summer break before they go to college. But a lot of students reach out to us and they say, hey, you know what, I really wish I took this with me. It's really important and I kind of overlooked it. So just, really kind of go through that and make sure that you feel that you have all the good content from all you're learning here. So that then brings me to the second part of this video, which is what is called Google Takeout. And for Google Takeout, if you simply click here, and I'm just going to, I already have this queued up on my little Mary Demo student account. If I click right here, the first step with Google Takeout is you're going to enter what's called a destination account. And for this, I'm just going to click, there's another demo account that I've actually kind of made for purposes of training like this. And I'm just going to type this in here. So this is actually, this happens to be an Amerisol account, and it also has unlimited storage, but for the purposes of this demonstration, this is kind of how this works. So enter the destination account. This could be your new university account, or this could also be like your personal account, or a new account that you've just created for the sake of doing this transfer. Before you actually do the transfer, you have to send a code, and you'll get a sort of verification code. So now that I've done that, I'm just going to go to my little John demo account and just see how John's Gmail inbox is looking here. So let me just go here and go to Gmail. And now that I've done that, you'll see in your Gmail inbox, it says like a little email that says, oh, verify your account. So this is just kind of ensuring that they're like the handshake between these two accounts is legit. And you'll click confirmation code. There'll be about an 8 or a 9-digit code here. And now that I've done that, that just kind of opens up. And so here is my code. So I'm going to go back to this Mary sort of demo account and enter my code of 680B40D0 and hit verify. Okay. So now that I've done that, and I'm also just going to reference this document one more time. Now that I've done that, I've entered my code. So I've entered my verification code. Then I'm also going to select what I want to transfer. Most of you probably don't want to transfer emails. Most likely you want to do just Google Drive. So I'm just going to deselect this Gmail here. And then the final step is going to be start transfer. So now that I've done that, I'm going to select start transfer. And if Google is it's also just going to do like one last kind of sign into your account just to make sure everything is fine. And then the final step is just, it's going to check the content or the amount of storage space in the destination account before it starts this transfer. So you can see it's all set. Your copy and transfer to JDemo is in progress. It may take for a week for this to complete, but you'll receive an email when it's finished. So now that I've done that, you'll see that here I am back in my John demo account. And if I look in my inbox, you'll see I get an email saying, oh, your content's on its way. So you started to copy and transfer this from this right here. So it may take some time to do, depending on the number of files that you have transferring over, but this is just a good way to ensure that the intellectual property that you made here at FDR continues. And you may also want to reference it for maybe some work you've done in your first couple of years of college from the work you've done here at FDR. So this is just kind of a really easy walk through this whole process. If you have any questions, please come by the Fab Lab down in the basement of the Commons. But this should hopefully walk you through this process pretty seamlessly and painlessly. But if you have any questions, reach out to me down in the Fab Lab and we can help sort you out. Thanks a lot, Condors. And once a Condor, always a Condor.